two of the most significant, critical, and pivotal thinking processes over the past 100,000 years in human history are being ignored or significantly underutilized by most people. We were hunter-gatherers for most of our existence, and then for some reason, poof, all these civilizations started to pop up. And everything associated with civilizations, art, literature, writing, metallurgy, government, codes of law. What happened? Being a hunter-gatherer is very, very simple. It's not easy. It's very harsh. It's very unforgiving, but it's simple. You don't really have to think a lot. You don't have to plan very much. You have to just respond to your environment. If you're hungry, you go out and kill something and eat it. If you see a scary animal, you hide until it goes somewhere else. If it's too hot or too cold, you move to where it's better temperature, better environment, better climate. But then suddenly civilizations popped up. Now clearly agriculture has a lot to do with this. The invention or the discovery of farming has a lot to do with this. And whether or not we did something that led to farming, or we did farming that led to these somethings that increased civilization, nobody really knows. But there's a theory in both anthropology and evolutionary psychology that there are two very critical skills that came along with farming. Now again, whether these skills caused farming or farming caused these skills, nobody really knows. But if you're a hunter-gatherer and you're hungry today, you go out and kill something today. If you're hungry tomorrow, you go out and kill something tomorrow. And that's it. You don't ever have to worry about beyond today. But if you're a farmer and you want to eat today, you better have done something 3 months ago so you can eat today. If you're a farmer and you want to eat in 3 months, you better do something today so you'll have food in 3 months. And for the first time in human history, we were forced, or we discovered the ability to imagine a future far, far out into the future, and then realize or imagine or discover or figure out what we needed to do right now to make that future come true. We never had to do that as hunter-gatherers. This changed how we perceived time. This changed how we perceived our daily actions. This is essentially the origin story of delayed gratification, of doing something today, not because you'll benefit today, but because you'll benefit 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. And this is one of the pivotal shifts that led to the explosion of civilization. The other is a much more subtle idea. If you're a hunter-gatherer and you kill a big woolly mammoth, you can't save that wealth. You have to eat all the meat before it goes bad. You could maybe save the bones and use them, but you're a nomad, so you can't really carry a lot of stuff with you. So you can't really save up a lot of wealth as a hunter-gatherer. But as a farmer, you're in the same place. And if you grow more food than you eat, if you produce more than you consume, you can save the excess as wealth. Grain can be stored for a long time. And you can use this grain in a lot of different ways. You could use this grain to store it for the future so you don't have to farm in the future and you can just relax and eat your stored grain. Or you can use that grain to hire other people to help you farm to produce even more grain. You could use wealth to make more wealth. That was the first time in history humans could do that, to produce more than they consume and then use the excess, production minus consumption, and then use that excess to create more stuff in the future and combine that with your delayed gratification muscle to imagine that better future so that you can produce even more than you consume and keep exponentially expanding that wealth out into the future. And that's what led, many believe, to the explosion in society. Because once a civilization as a whole produces more stuff than they need to consume, they can use that extra wealth to pay people to do things other than farming, like build houses or build farming tools or invent new metallurgy techniques or figure out how to write stuff down, to build temples, to figure out how to run society, to figure out how to reroute rivers to irrigate more crops, to feed more people, to come up with more ideas. And this is what made society explode. And these same two ideas can make your life explode. These two ideas, delayed gratification of imagining the kind of future you want, and then figuring out what you need to do today to make that future come true, and using wealth to make more wealth. Now, you can use wealth to make more wealth literally or metaphorically. Literally, there's basically two ways to do that. One is to just produce more than you consume, save the extra in your bank account, so one day you'll have a bunch of money and you won't need to work. Or you can produce more than you consume, save the extra and invest that and make even more money. Or you could use wealth to create more wealth metaphorically. What does this mean? Imagine you don't have a social circle. And so you use delayed gratification to do things today that aren't inherently pleasant, but will build a social circle in your future. And then when that future comes and you have that social circle, that is kind of a human capital. And you can use that human capital to make more human capital. You can use that social circle to build an even bigger social circle, and that will exponentially increase into the future. And you can have bigger and bigger and bigger social circles in the future. And there's no end to how you can apply these two simple ideas: to delay gratification, to imagine a future that you'd like, and then figure out what you need to do today to make that future come true, and to apply the law of using wealth to make more wealth, or applying the idea of using wealth to make more wealth. Human capital wealth, skills wealth, all kinds of other wealth that you can imagine, to use that wealth and bring that into the present by your actions now, and then use that wealth to make more wealth in a future that will come into the present in the future. Because ultimately, your future is coming no matter what. And whether you like it or not, your actions today are creating your future. The question is that future going to be a better future than today? Is that future going to be the same as today? Or is that future going to be worse than today? It's completely up to you. Your actions today will create your future. And if you start to imagine the future you want, if you start to build the future you want right now in your mind, that will come true in the present. Because the future always comes into the present. And the future that comes is completely up to you. So think about this. Delay gratification. Do things today that will build that future, and figure out how to use wealth, create wealth to make more wealth of any kind, of human capital, of financial wealth, of skills wealth. And apply these two laws, and just like society, civilizations exploded, your life can explode as well, and you can have the biggest, brightest future that you want. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching. And if you'd like to learn more about how to improve yourself, how to improve your conversational skills, check out the links below. Thanks again. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.